Yeah, well, my name's James. I'm 40. I'm from Manchester in the UK. I'm a lawyer by trade. And I suppose I first started noticing that I was losing my hair about 10 years ago, bit by bit. And it gradually got worse, around the back, and my hairline receded. So I went back and forth on the idea of a hair transplant for quite a while. And a big part of me was thinking, what else could I spend that money on? There were other things that I could spend it on that were maybe more practical. But in the end, I think speaking with my partner, just decided that you only live once, really. Yes. I said, and it's not something that ever got me down or made me feel sad. It's something I thought about every day, and it bothered me slightly. And I just thought, well, why not? If there's something that I can do to make it better, to rectify it, then why not do it? I mean, I think a lot of people talk about that, how it affects their mental health. That wasn't really the case for me. So it bothered me, it irritated me. I wouldn't say it affected my confidence or anything like that, because I think that your hair is just your hair. Yes. And I think if your confidence is affected, maybe having a hair transplant would help, but I think that's something inside you rather than anything superficial. So I think I was always comfortable with the fact that, if my hair dropped out to a certain degree, I would just cut it all off. Yeah. But still, I'm really glad I made the decision to do this. Yeah, well, I think like a lot of men who have lost the hair, there's been a period where I've been covering it up. So I had my hair shorter, but I brushed it forward. The problem with that is anytime it rains or there's any wind, it goes out of place, so you've got to go on. So when the first lockdown hit in the UK, it was a couple of years ago, I couldn't go to the barber, so my hair grew, and then my partner liked it, so I just let it grow. And that way, by having my hair tied back, you're covering up the bit of bald at the back. Yeah. But there were many times during lockdown I thought, I'm just going to shave it all off. I didn't, never did it. Yeah, so it was a personal recommendation, which I thought was really important. My cousin, he came and had a hair transplant 2-3 years ago, and he came here. So when I was seriously thinking about it, I knew I wanted to come to Turkey. I looked at a few places, but he recommended you guys, and everything that he told me turned out to be exactly the way he said it would be. I think the way he described it, he said it was more of one of the more established and reputable hair transplant companies. And he said one of the more expensive. Yes. But I mean, compared to the price in the UK, it's still very low. But compared to some of the places over here, it was high. But I think if you're undergoing surgery, it's for your appearance. You pay, you're going to pay for it. You may as well pay a little bit more to get the best service. I think it's important. With my cousin, I can trust what he says, but I could also see the work that had been done. His hair looked fantastic. And then I did my own research on Hair of Istanbul online, and it was just all positive reviews. But there's a small part of you that is still nervous before you come. But I think every step of the way with you guys with Hair of Istanbul, it's just been really high quality, really good service, and very reassuring the whole way through. I think if you're thinking about getting a hair transplant, I would first of all, at least from my perspective, be comfortable with not having any hair. So come to peace with the fact that you may go bald and be happy with that. But if you really want to go for it, if you think it's the right thing for you, and you can afford it, then do it. And if you're going to come to Turkey to do it, I would highly recommend Hair of Istanbul. I think the one thing that I slightly regret is that I would have liked to have come out a few days earlier. I would have liked to see more of Istanbul. The only part of Istanbul that I've seen has been travelling around the city by bus. And it's been nice being able to see a fair bit of it, but I would really like to explore it. I think I know a bit about Istanbul, and it's a very special city because it borders 2 continents. I would really like to see both sides of it. So, and I love the food. The people have been fantastic here. The hotel's great. But me and my partner have said we'd love to come back and see it properly. So, yeah. If you're talking about, do you have any preconceptions? The only experience I've had, I suppose, of Istanbul is with football. I know I'm a Man United fan. I know United played Galatasaray years back. And I thought it looked like quite a scary place. But it's not like that at all. It's a huge, vibrant city with, really eclectic mix of people, and everyone we've met have been really nice and welcoming. Yeah, it was something that had played on my mind, how I would feel and how I would look afterwards. I was slightly nervous about getting my head shaved, but actually I appreciate it at the minute. I've got scabs and wounds, but I actually quite like it. Having my hair cut short, it's a big change from how it was. But really what you're asking is how people maybe perceive you looking at this. I mean, one thing that I was reassured about is that a lot of people, especially a lot of people from the UK, come to Turkey for cosmetic treatment. So you're not alone. I've seen a number of other men in the hotel who've had the hair transplants. There is a certain level of vanity. When you go home, people might see it and they make certain judgments of you. But I think I'd already come to peace with that before I came out. You just have to own it. I've told everyone I can that I'm getting a hair transplant. Not being shy about it, because I think if you try and hide it, it looks even worse. I think you've just got to own it. That's it. You only live once, yeah. And in fact, I was surprised about the number of friends and work colleagues I've told. Yeah, as opposed to, as we say in England, like taking the mick out of you, making fun. People were supportive, and more than that, a lot of men are very interested. They all want to see how it looks. And how it was, how the whole experience was, because they're thinking of going themselves. About the place, she loves it. Yeah, I mean, we've got a young son. He's 3, so he's staying with his grandparents. So while I've had the treatment, and then today I've just been relaxing, staying in the room, staying out of the sun. She's had 2 clear days to sit by the pool and relax. And with a young son, you don't get any time for that at home. So she's really enjoyed it, and she loves Middle Eastern food, she loves Turkish food. So she's really enjoyed herself, yeah. I'm jealous. I've not been able to have a drink with her.